Music camera. Do you have anything I want you to put this in now? Changing the leave on the screen. Yes. Okay. Questions option. How do I increase this? How do I increase it? No problem. Extend. Come like this. Extend. Extend. You can show on this. showing that network is up. That's fun. I think we'll over again. Okay. Let me say something. Those online, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? I think we should use it. So this thing is slow. There's nobody here physically. You can hear me. Hello, can you hear me? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I am Bogidi Eberi. I am a cybersecurity analyst and also a certified cybersecurity education professional. So I want to welcome you all to aitech Empowerment Foundation free cybersecurity training, which kicks off today. So today we'll be basically doing an introduction to the course. Um, Server and including individuals. So today we're doing a comprehensive beginner guide to understand the digital world of cybersecurity. So you see, cybersecurity is not just technology. Good morning, all. So it's not just about it's about protecting people, information, systems, servers against threats and intrusions, attacks, cyber attacks. So today what we're learning what cybersecurity is and why it matters, understanding the CIA triads, describe the major cybersecurity information, destroy business operations, extort victims, or spy on individuals or governments. So these are cyber attacks, and these are the attacks carried out on these are digital assets. So as a cybersecurity professional, your job is to protect these assets, these infrastructures from these cyber attacks. Is it clear? All right. So moving on, unlike physical security, like locks and guards, cybersecurity uses authentication, encryption, monitoring, and defense technology. It is comparable to a physical lock and key before explaining digital authentication. So those online, if you have any question, drop it on the chat, and it will respond to you immediately. Okay, so for those that say I should go back. So what I was saying, I was talking about cybersecurity itself, what it means and why it's important. So cybersecurity, welcome sir. All right. So cybersecurity, like I said, it's a practice or a mindset of protecting digital assets from cyber attacks, cyber threats. How's it together? So these assets include your computer, servers, information, companies' infrastructure, personal information from cyber attacks, such as information disclosure, information extraction, phishing, different types of cyber attacks. Is it clear? All right. So, in terms of time, so he said modern security runs on digital technology, like these modern times where most of the things we do now is mostly on the internet, right? Your information, your car details, every information you have is basically mostly on the internet altogether. So this information on the internet needs to be protected, like your bank information, for instance. We use credit card, right? Use a credit card. You know, if you use your credit card on or a debit card on an ATM machine or a POS, for instance, right? Those information are saved on a database, right? For those information to be protected, there are some standards, there are some policies put in place, some security policies, some security to put in place to protect those information. One of them is encryption, making it difficult for an attacker to just see whatever is there. So encryption is like converting from plain text into unreadable text. That's one thing used in protecting information altogether. So it's a modern society runs on digital technology. Imagine a single day without cybersecurity. What will happen? Banks could lose customer money. So imagine you are banking with a fintech, for instance, and it gets attacked. They don't have any security policy. They don't have any defense technology, anything protecting that fintech. Before you wake up in the morning, your money is gone altogether. Then hospitals could lose patients' record. True. Because of cybersecurity now, patients' records are very protected. I can't go to the hospital and ask for your records, your health records, or I just go to their system and start stealing your information, your health information. It's very difficult. Why? Because these hospitals now, we've grown a lot, they've evolved into using security tools, security policies, security standards in protecting this information. Is it clear? One of the standards is called HIPAA, HIPAA, means Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. It is standard that protects eight records. Is it clear? So there are other standards just like that. There are now CLIA, Clinical Laboratory Improvement and Amendments Act, right? It's out there to protect your clinical laboratory information or records. So without this standard, without this policy, without this security technology, security tools, this information will just be on the public and everybody just access it at will. Is it clear? And another one is power stations could shut down. Your power stations, if you don't have security guidelines, you don't have security tools, so an attacker will just hack into a power station and shut everything down using good tools. in shorting these things down. Is it clear? Then have airports could stop functioning through. The airports use what called a real-time operating system. We know our native operating system, the Windows operating system, right? The airports use the word for a real-time operating system, which runs on the internet using technology infrastructure. So when I get access to this operating system, they can shut down airports or even redirect a flight to a different location. Altogether, that's why cybersecurity is very important. Altogether. Then we also have governments could lose classified information. And I can use this technology or these tools they are attacking to carry out espionage on government infrastructures, trying to hack a government to classify information and put it out there, for instance. Is it clear? Then also businesses could fall for ransomware. Have you heard of ransomware before? Online, have you heard of ransomware? It's called IPA. Okay. Have you heard of ransomware before? What's a ransomware? Is that from my other mic? The other mic. What's a ransomware? Okay, then because we have students online, so they can hear you.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, ransomware basically is holding a system or like information hostage until you are paid to use it.
That's it. So when an attacker gets access to your information or your system, they compromise your system, they hold it for and send you a message. Make a deposit of this amount. Most times on crypto, Bitcoin, they say pay that so amount of Bitcoin for them to release your system, all those information back to you. That's a ransomware. So most businesses fall for this. I think one hospital in Lagos last year, in November, December, one of the hospitals in Lagos, one of the hospitals in Lagos, their system was compromised. It's a ransomware, and they asked them to pay a certain amount of money. But there are ways to avert this from happening, to stop this from happening, which were the things we'll be talking about. Is it clear? All right, then individuals could lose photos, emails, bank or social accounts, and their identity. Most times, I've heard the word phishing before. Phishing. So phishing is a social engineering attack where the attacker tries to trick a victim and send them personal information or confidential information. Most times you receive these emails or calls from your bank. I'm sorry, person from your bank. I need to send you digits on your card with the front and back. Is that clear? Those are phishing attacks. So most times individuals fall for this. If you are not enlightened, if you are not smart enough, you can just send me a mail. I'm from the bank, send the digits of your card to this mail and all that. Right? So moving on, we'll talk about these phishing attacks and more other information. Is it clear? Any question? Questions? All right, so it's a cybersecurity protects all of these. So all these, both individuals, systems, banks, organizations, security is out there to protect them from cyber attacks, cyber threats. Is it clear? All right, you say where cybersecurity protects us. One, the banking system. Other one is the healthcare, government, and businesses. For the banking system now, if there is no cybersecurity policy, there is no standard, no framework that protects individuals' detail or their information, attackers can easily get into your account and steal your credentials or steal your money. Like of recent, Zenith Bank was attacked, although nobody's money or phone was missing. But individual details were leaked online on the internet. Altogether. So if there is no cybersecurity tool or policy that protects the banking system, these attacks will be more frequent. Is it clear? So instead, encryption, authentication, fraud detection, and secure networks. Without it, money could be stolen instantly. Like I said, encryption is converting from plain text into a readable text. Those readable texts are called ciphertexts. Altogether. Encryption now, for instance, this is hello, right? If I encrypt this, now I convert it to something like this. Can you read it? This is how encryption works. Altogether. So converting from plain text into readable text. This text here is called a ciphertext. Is it clear? Alright. Then authentication is verifying individuals before granting them access into resources, systems, network. For instance, your phone, if you want to get access into your mobile device, what do? You insert a password, right? That is authenticating you to that device. Then healthcare, said medical records, insurance, lab results, prescriptions. An attacker can delay surgeries or expose patient data. If you don't have HIPAA, for instance, patient data will be exposed. Altogether, if you don't have access controls on your system, an attacker can get access into every patient record on that system. Clear. So you have to put this security tools, security policy, this standard in place to protect those patient records. Altogether. For instance, you go to the hospital and you find out that somebody else knows your hospital records. What do? You sue them. Right? You can sue the hospital. How did this person find out this is what's wrong with me? Altogether. Right? Then the government, it's a military info, infrastructure, elections, intelligence. Nation state attackers target power grids and communication. So we have an attack group called the nation states. Their job is they are actually backed up by a nation. Well sponsored, they are well resourced. They carry out major attacks, strong attacks. Also attack a country now, carry out an espionage. Nation states can easily do that because they are well resourced, they have all the resources in place. Is it clear? Altogether? Any question? Questions? Alright. Then we have businesses, say customer data, intellectual property, finances, a cloud. A breach costs millions and erodes trust. If a business is being attacked and customers' information is exposed, that business is likely to be disrupted or they will lose their clients altogether. So this is why security is very important. Have security policy, security standards, security tools in place to protect these bodies from getting attacked. Is it clear? All right. Any questions? Anyone? Questions? Questions? All right. So the goals of cybersecurity. What are the main goals of cybersecurity? So the main goals of cybersecurity it's backed by three major things, which is called the CIA triads. The CIA stands for confidentiality, integrity, and availability. What it means that in information security, which is protecting information, right? These three things are like the bedrock, the foundation. Every cybersecurity professional is ought to know, right? Confidentiality is making sure that information systems is only accessed by authorized individuals. Is it clear? Then integrity is making sure that this information is not altered or tempered by any other person. Is it clear? While availability is making sure information systems are always accessible at any point in time. Right? So these three things are actually the goal of a cybersecurity professional. The things you are supposed to achieve, making sure that if you're working for an organization and they are giving information to protect, make sure that those information is confidential, it has integrity, and always available. It's accessible at any time. Is it clear? All right. So I said every cybersecurity decision is guided by the CIA triad, the foundation of information security. First, confidentiality. So information is seen only by authorized users. Then integrity. So information stays accurate, complete, and untempered. Then availability. System remain accessible when needed. Then for one, the confidentiality, it says seen only by authorized users. It says think of a lock safe, only people with the correct key can open it. For instance, your password. If you give me access to your system without the password, I can't open it. I can't get access into that system or your device. That's confidentiality. Nobody can access it, only the authorized user. Right? Then encryption. I'm converting from plain text into readable text. It's only someone with the decryption key can access it, which is the authorized user. I can access such information altogether. Then access control. Access control is granting access to users on devices or systems or network with permissions. Is it clear? Based on your role, this is what you access on a network or on a system. Altogether. Then multi-factor authentication. Multi-factor authentication is using multiple factors of authentication in granting access or accessing information. For instance, an example is your device. On your device, you have facial recognition, right? You can use a password, you can use a PIN. Is it clear? These factors of authentication, you have three main types. You have something you know, something you have, and something you are. Then there's other extra two, something you do, and somewhere you are. Just right, somewhere you are actually. So it's five. Okay. Anyway. So the factors of authentication now. One, you have something you are. Two, something, you have. Three, something you know. Four, something you do. You do. And five, somewhere you are. Altogether. So something you are be your biometrics. Please don't memorize, fingerprints and all that. Then something you have be a token. And something you know, password, your PIN. Then something you do. We all know CAPTCHA, right? You know CAPTCHA. That's something you do. Then somewhere you are is location based. Is it clear? All right. So using this, because if you have all these in place, and you want to access a system or a device or a network, it's confidential. I can't give you my phone pin without me authorizing you. Is it clear? So this helps in confidentiality. And also VPNs. We heard of VPN for a virtual private network, right? So virtual private network gives you access to a private network. That's what it does. It gives you access to a network, a secured access. It's like a tunnel. If you go through, no other person aside around you could see where you're going to or what you're doing. Is it clear? All right. So it said a patient record should be visible only to doctors, nurses, and authorized staff. Not everyone on the internet. Every patient records will only be accessible to just doctors, nurses, not everybody. I cannot go to the hospital and say, okay, give me this person's patient record, or I could go to the bank and ask for your records. It's impossible. So then two, integrity said accurate, complete, and tempered. So imagine a bank balance change from 1,000, from 100,000 to 10,000, meaning integrity has been compromised. Something has happened. You just look up more money. You see your bank balance from 100,000 to 0, 1,000. Something has happened. Immediately you go to your bank, right? But if there is integrity, it won't happen like that. Nobody can just access it. Nobody can tamper with those information. So there are things you put in place in making sure that these things, this information, these data, they have integrity. One of them is hashing, right? Hashing, it's a one-way cryptographic method that it's irreversible. Let me break it down this way. You know apple juice, right? They convert apple into an apple juice, but you can't revert that apple juice to an apple. That's integrity. That's hashing for you, sorry. Is it clear? Our passwords, the same thing. Our passwords are being hashed. It's irreversible. Hashing works this way. If I hash something and sorry. So hashing now, yeah, it's converting a string of data, a data like this, an information like this, into strings of numbers. Something like look like this. So on and so forth. But it's irreversible. Unlike encryption, if I encrypt hello, now it becomes like this, and we use something like this. Just random figures, right? I can also change it back to this, which I've decrypted it. But hashing now, I can't unhash it and it come back to this. For password hashing, for instance, right? If I hash a password through an hash function, what we call hash function that does this. Hello. This hash could look like this. A, B, C, D, E, and blah, blah, blah. And I have hello like this. It's the same thing, right? But their hash value will look different. This could be Z, Y, X, so on and so forth. Not the same. Is it clear? All right. Sorry. Then we have what called digital signature. Digital signature are, how would I put that? Are online signatures that you can't deny an action. Repudiation, for instance. If you carry this action is being carried out, you can't deny it. Is it clear? For instance, you use your ATM card on a machine. You made a transaction. You can't deny it in the bank that you didn't carry out that transaction. What made that possible is this, a digital signature. Moving on, we are going to explain this. I'm just trying to break it down so you understand. Right? Then we have checksum. Checksum is used to come to data of a file, an hash data of a file. If a file is being hashed like this now, hello, If I want to confirm it that, okay, this is still this. What I do, I use this as value to confirm. You're downloading software online. Most of the software has checksum. Like VLC, for instance, you go to add one of the easiest way to see your VLC. You go through their platform, you see the checksum there. If you click on it, you see jumbles of numbers like this, strings of numbers as values. That's what you use in confirming that, okay, this particular software or this file has integrity. It has not been tampered with. Is it clear? So moving on, we're actually going to see most of the stuff. Today is just an introduction into the course, and we'll get to know ourselves, right? And at the end of every classes, we're going to give you a task to do, but not today. Today is just the beginning. No task for today. Maybe our next class will be on Wednesday. We're giving you taxes and other things to do, but it's just a breakdown of everything you're going to learn. Is it good? So, any question? One more questions. All right. So he said hashing is used to verify stored passwords without keeping them in plain text. Hash comparison detects changes while protecting secrets. Okay. Then the last but not the least, availability. Say accessible when needed. Back websites, emergency services, hospital system, email servers. When you need this thing, it needs to be available. The only thing that would not make our Nigerian healthcare and all that, maybe a strike or something, but their system is always available. The reason for that is having backups. If anything should happen, this is what you should do. An incident response plan is to make every information accessible at any point in time it's needed. Is it clear? Because if you have a backup now, if your system is being compromised and you have a backup on the drive or on the cloud, what you do, you isolate the system from the network, you fix it, or you format it, then bring back the backup. It helps operation continue, which is resilience. Is it clear? All right. It says a website that crashes during a DDoS attack loses availability. DDoS stands for distributed denial of service. This is when an attacker sends so many traffic into a system or a website or a network to disrupt services. For instance, you have a website. I am an attacker. What I do, I use systems as bots. Send too much traffic to your website. And once your website comes down, is disrupted at that moment. Verified clients, your client cannot access your website at that point in time. Is it clear? All right. Then the CIA triangle is a balance all three. So working with these three principles, it makes you a better cybersecurity professional. If you know this, if you can do these things, you carry out these principles, you are good, you're a cybersecurity professional. So after today, you can start looking for a job. After today, you can start looking for a job. If you know how to, if you are dealing with an information, a system, if you make them confidential, they have integrity and they are always available, this is what makes you a professional. Is it clear? Any question? All right. So, for chapter 3 said, beyond the CIA triads, what are the other principles behind or beyond the CIA triads? What are the other things you need to know? One of them is the Mekumba cube. The Mekumba cube is a model that tells every cyber professional what to protect, how to protect, and how do you protect it? What are you supposed to do to protect these things? Is it clear? Have you heard of the Mekumba cube before? All right. It is a cybersecurity model that tells you what you are supposed to protect, how to protect it. It has 3 stages. Is it clear? So it said the Mekumba cube asks not just is the data confidential, but also it states what it protects and which property applies. Is it clear? So he said, what is the data? What is the data in? Is it stored? Is it processing data, or is it transmission data? Data in transit. Altogether. So then, what protects it? Technology, policies, and people. which are the cybersecurity experts. The technology are cybersecurity tools. Policies are policies with rules put in place to protect this information, this data, this system, this infrastructure. Then what security property, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So if you know what to protect and how to protect, you use this in protecting them. Altogether, is it clear? Cybersecurity depends on technology, people, and organization process. So the technology are the tools. You have seen to heard of firewall before, right? Have you heard of firewall? Have you heard of firewall? What's a firewall? Thank you very much. So a firewall is a tool that monitors what comes in and what goes out of the system or a network. It filters traffic and it tells the traffic, deny the system, deny this traffic, allow this to come in. Right? Those are technology tools in cybersecurity. We also have what we call a SIM tool, right? Please don't mind me, I like writing on the board. So let's do cybersecurity tools. Now, talk about the firewall. We have a SIM tool. The SIM is security information and event management tool, right? It's used for monitoring systems, networks, servers, collect logs, real-time events, security incidents from servers, logs. They aggregate these logs for analysis to find out, okay, there's any abnormalities on network on the system. So when you collect these logs, now you're able to give reports. Okay, at this point in time, there was this intrusion, there was this attack, there was this malicious update, there was this malicious signing. Is it clear? Right, that's what a SIM tool does. Moving on, we'll talk more about it. Then we have an IDS, intrusion detection system. This tool is used to detect an intrusion on systems and network. Is it clear? Then we have an IPS, intrusion prevention system. So this is used to prevent an intrusion, an attack. The IDS is to detect, the IPS is to prevent. And we also have EDR, which is endpoint detection and response. These are used to on endpoints, your mobile devices, your system, to detect and respond to intrusion, attacks altogether. So we'll get familiar with these tools. We'll try as possible to touch most of these tools or use most of these tools. Okay. Then as for technology, then policies. Right, policies are firewall. Good. Endpoint detection and response. Please don't mind man writing. Yes. Okay. For the firewall, it filters incoming and outgoing traffic. On your system now, on your Windows system or a network, you have a firewall, be it software or device, hardware. It monitors what comes in, goes out, based on predefined rules. Altogether, I can just say, okay, let me use my system for instance. So this system now, if I set my firewall, I can say, okay, on this system you can't visit YouTube, deny YouTube. I can't access YouTube. Or I can deny someone from getting access or some devices to connect to my own system. Basically, that's the job of the firewall. Just monitors what goes out and what comes in. On that firewall, I can, based on rules, I'll put a rule: deny this from coming in, allow this to go out, or allow this to come in. It's like having a security man in your house. I tell the security man, don't allow this person to come inside. Is it clear? Right. Then moving on, the human element is chapter 4. Said people are the weakest link, which is true. Humans are actually the weakest link when it comes to cyber attacks. When I say human is the weakest link, it's if you are not enlightened, if you are not smart enough, I can come as an attacker and just trick you, work for you psychologically, and start stealing information from you. Human can easily be compromised than systems. I can't deceive a system unless I'm using a very good tool. But a human, I can just psychologically. Why can if I want to carry out an attack on you, for instance, it can take me 5 years. First, I'll become your friend. Get close to you, get information, and I want to get access. For instance, let me say you work for a very large company. Yeah, you work for a large company, and I am an attacker. I want to attack that company, and I know you are the CFO of that organization. I'll make friends with you. Become your friends for 2 years. You're cool with me. And one day I say, hey, let me do something on your system. And you give me, I trust this guy. You give me your system. At the end of the day, I inject a code on that system or a malware on that system, which I know that system will take your office and connect to the company's network. That's it. That's why I say humans are actually the weakest links. Is it clear? So he said technology alone cannot stop attacks. Your behavior and awareness are major factors in staying secure. First, clicking phishing emails. I've explained phishing, right? If you go through your mail, your spam on your mail, you go through your inbox, you see a lot of mails asking you for credentials, right? These are where attackers just work on your psychology, trick you, and sending important information. Okay, that's phishing attacks. So there are all different types of phishing, right? You have one called smishing, you have SMS, you send you a text message. You have one called vishing through voice calls, right? You have whaling, targeting prominent individuals within an organization. We have spear phishing, targeting a specific individual, right? You have email business compromise. You have cloning, trying to clone someone's email to carry out an attack. Is it clear? Right. So, quick question: can phishing attack be stopped? No. Hmm? Yes or no? Can phishing attack be stopped? No. Why no? Okay. Yeah. Yes or no? No. Okay. Okay. Sir, what about you? Can be stopped. Thank you. The answer is no. Phishing attack cannot be stopped. Every day, attackers keep sending you these mails trying to get this information, but you can stop being phished. The attack cannot be stopped, but you as an individual, you can stop being phished by not clicking on those links, by not falling victim, being aware. Is it clear? All right. Then the next is reusing passwords. Some persons use one password for all their accounts, or they use password. Myself, my Wi-Fi password, I change it every 3 days. Yes, it's my own discipline. Every 3 days. The reason is because I always leave my passport on. And if I give you my passport today, tomorrow night, if I leave it on, you just get access to it. So I change my password every 3 days. So it's advisable, don't reuse passwords. Where you keep using password, or you use a particular password for different systems, or you can be attacked using the same password over and over again. Because if I find out that you're using a particular password, let me say you're using your name as your password on Facebook, and I find that I have gotten access to that your Facebook, I've gotten access to that password, and I try your password on Instagram, the same thing. I try it on another platform, the same thing. All the accounts are gone. Is it clear? Then sharing sensitive information, it's not advisable to share sensitive information. You're working for an organization and you have a best friend that's always asking you, how this your give me this. You keep giving out this information. You don't know who that person is. You might be friends for years, but you don't know the intention of that individual. Is it clear? Then installing unknown software. You want to play game on your laptop, what do? You go to Bluestop, they call it, download from the focus channel. Is it clear? All right. So because of this, cybersecurity professionals spend enormous effort training users. Most organizations will do awareness training every 6 months, quarterly, why some to train their employees on these types of attacks. Together? All right. Any question? All right. And ask questions. So the next thing we're talking about is the cyber threat landscape. Talking about cyber attacks, cyber threats. One what threats, right? Damages. What could affect our system? What could affect our network? So we said not everyone attacks for the same reason. Some attackers, they attack for financial reasons. Some attack based on ideology. Some do it for fun. I've seen an attacker I'm doing this for fun. Is it clear? But most persons, they do it for financial reasons. Right? So he said the white hat hackers. So we have different types of hackers. We have the white hat hackers, we have black hat hackers, grey hat hackers, script kiddies, organized crimes, nation state. We also have the APT. I'll talk about them. So the white hat hackers are the ethical hackers, which is the cybersecurity professionals and ethical hackers. Their intention is not for malicious purpose. Is it clear? Like you said, they say ethical hackers with permission improve security via penetration testing, assessment, and vulnerability research. Their job is to carry out illegal testing on systems, network, websites to see where there is vulnerability, weakness before an attacker does. That's the job of the white hat hacker. They are granted permission by the organization or by the owner of that platform. Okay, you as a pen tester, test this my website to see if there's any vulnerability so we can fix it before an attacker sees that vulnerability. Is it clear? Then we have the black hat hackers, so criminal hackers, financial and identity theft, espionage, extortion, and sabotage. This one, their job is to just destroy things, I'd say. That's the black hat hackers. They do it for financial purpose, fraud, espionage, extortion. You might compromise your system and say, okay, pay this certain amount of money for them to release it to you. Is it clear? Then we have the grey hackers. They are in between the ethical hackers and the unethical hackers. They are in between. When you mix gray, black and white together, I'll give you gray. That's the grey hackers. So between ethical and unethical, you may find vulnerabilities without permission and later disclose them. You have a website, for instance. If I am a grey hacker and I carry out a penetration testing without permission, I will test your website. And I see that the website or your app has some faults. There are some flaws and bugs there. What do? I disclose it to the public. You people can attack this particular website. It's vulnerable. Is it clear? Then you have the script kiddies. These script kiddies are those with no good resources. What they do, they purchase most of their resources from the dark web to carry out their attacks. Is it clear? Like I said, he said inexperienced attackers using existing tools rather than writing their own exploits. They purchase tools to carry out an attack, mostly from the dark web. That's where they purchase these tools. They want to attack your website now or your bank. They buy this, they don't know how to create them. So they're called script kiddies. Is it clear? Then we have organized crimes. These ones are professional groups. They just set up a group of individuals, look like an organization, right? Their job is to carry out fraudulent activities. Most times they do this credit card fraud. Steal people's credit card and use it to purchase things online. Is it clear? Then it says there are professional groups running ransomware campaigns, financial fraud, and data theft. And we have the nation states I talked about. These ones are backed up by a nation. American, Israel, Russia, Iraq, North Korea, most of them, they have these groups. What they do is sponsor them. They are well resourced. An attack that a script kid will carry out in 3 months. The nation states will do it within 24 hours. Less than 24 hours. Even 2 hours. Why? They are well resourced. Exactly. Then we also have the one they call the APT. They are called the Advanced Persistent Threats. Right? They are just like the nation states. They are well resourced, well funded. Most of them are funded by politicians, leaders, for their own personal purpose, for their own thing. They are well resourced. APT, Advanced Persistent. They are well resourced, just like the nation state. What I do, for instance, I'm a politician. Let me say, Donald Trump, for instance. I will set up a group of hackers, fund them to carry out cyber attacks, just like this nation state was sponsored. Is it clear? All right. Any question? Any question? So, said how cyber attacks works. We have the 7th stage of an attack. How is an attack carried out? That's 7th stage. It's also called the 7 kill chain or lock-in, right? Lock-in kill chain. Yeah, lock-in kill chain. Right? So that's 7 stage. The first stage there is reconnaissance. Reconnaissance means gathering of information. I want to carry an attack on you. I want to carry an attack on him now, for instance. What I do, I gather information about him. Is it clear? Then after I gather this information, I've done my recon. The next thing now is weaponization. I create a weapon which I'll use in attacking this man. After creating that weapon now, I'll look for ways to deploy this weapon or deliver the weapon to him, which is delivery. The 2nd stage. Right? Either I send it through a phishing mail, through an application, through a website, download it from a website, whatever way I will deploy it to a system or a network. Is it clear? Then after I deploy it now, I exploit. I send in my arbitrary codes. I deploy my codes on the system. I've delivered it to your system now. Let it run on that system. And after that now, I will install whatever I've sent to him, the weapon. The weapon could be a payload or a malware. Then I install it on the system. And after I install it now, the next thing is command and control. I start moving in. What do I want? Is it data exfiltration? Am I trying to pretend to be a user on that website or a system? Altogether. Then after I've done that now, the last thing is objective and action. What did I gain? Or actions on an objective. What am I getting from this attack? Is it clear? So that are the 7 steps. So as an attacker or as a defender, what you need to know, you need to know how this works. You have to know how an attacker does all this. That's how you're able to protect a system. You have to know, okay, which information was gathered, what weapon was used, how was it deployed, and what kind of code is it running, and where is it installed on the system, and what is the attacker doing on my system, or doing on that system which I'm supposed to protect. And at the end of the day, what did the attacker gain? What was stolen? What was missing? Is it clear? Any question? Then common cyber threats, which is chapter 7. The first one there is malicious software, also called a malware. A malware. I know we are familiar with virus, right? Everybody's familiar with virus. Like me growing up, the only malware I know in my life is virus. I never knew any virus on any other malware until I got to a higher institution. But during my primary school days, my secondary, the only thing I knew was virus. Then in those days, if I see a flash drive that is old, I'll say the flash drive has virus. Don't plug it in. Because I was strong. That's not a virus. The flash drive will be there for 10 years, but it does not have a virus. Right? So we have different types of malware, but few are mentioned here. We have the virus, we have a worm, we have Trojan, we have ransomware, we have botnet, we have rootkit, we have keyloggers. Sorry, I'm not mentioning not, but these ones are the most common. We have other ones, right? Which we'll talk about in the future. So he said the virus requires users action attached to another file or program. I can get it. There's a flash I have that has it actually, like I created, right? If I should put flash in your system, it will destroy your system. I created it. I ran the code myself, but it's for personal use. It's practical, provided for educational purpose, right? Is it clear? So it needs a user action. If it's connected to your system, I need to run an action for it to carry out what I want on your device, on your system. Is it clear? Then we have a worm. So it self-replicates across networks without user interaction. If you want to get access to your system, for instance, let me say these systems are all on one network. If you want to get access to this system, it replicates itself, like it gives birth to another one, and it keeps spreading a system on the network or moving around the network altogether. Unlike the virus will just be on one system and do its job. But the worm, it replicates, it gives birth. Is it clear? Then we have a Trojan horse. Have you seen this movie, Troy? You watch movies? Troy. You see, heard of the Trojan horse? A Trojan horse disguised itself as something beautiful. Where it has a malicious intent, it has malicious codes in it. For instance, I send you a picture, a very beautiful picture, without you knowing that picture carries a malware in it. That picture, you download it to your system, you won't use it as your wallpaper. Whereas I'm using it to get access to your device. That's how a Trojan works. Like I said, it pretends to be a legitimate software. Is it clear? Then you have the ransomware, which I talked about. So it encrypts files and demand payments. Altogether, this is very common these days. It's very common. I think it came out about 3-4 years ago. Now you can get access to your system, but most times these attackers, they can't reverse this process. What they do once you pay, they will disappear. It's very difficult to reverse a ransomware. So when they lock your system and you pay, so we'll keep demanding ransom. When they find out they can't reverse it, they will disappear. And you are left with the problem. Then we have botnet. He said infected devices controlled remotely, often for DDoS. Thousands of machines overwhelming services. I talked about DDoS before. What was DDoS? I talked about it. DOS. I talked about it. No. No, that's what I said. Distributed denial of service. I said it before. Okay, let me write it. It's an attack. No, it's a type of attack. So moving on, we'll talk about it, right? this is DDoS, distributed denial of service, right? So these are important. Yeah? This is an attacker, right? An attacker, yeah? All together. This is an attacker. I use systems, different systems now. This is the service I want to attack. This is the service. Okay, I come get access to all these devices. Just to disrupt this service. I'm sending a lot of traffic. All these are botnets now. Is it clear? I use this, all these are systems, right? Send a lot of traffic into this service. Just to destroy this service becomes unavailable. Is it clear? That's how botnets work. Alright, so these are botnets. So it's used mostly for DDoS, distributed denial of service. Is it clear? Then, moving on, attackers attack people, not computers. They don't come for your system, they come for you. But they go to pass through the system to get to you, the individual, you the people. Is it clear? So the first one there is phishing, we have pretexting, we have baiting, and we have tailgating. Is it clear? Then, don't mind me because I'm trying to work with time. So it's phishing, credential stuffing, and keylogging are examples of common threats to user accounts. So moving on, we'll still talk about all this. Talk about phishing, protecting. Baiting is trying to, protecting is an attacker trying to deceive you to give out personal for your password for okay. For instance, now I create a website, right, and I deploy the website out there just to get your personal information, right, all together. Then baiting, trying to put a bit. You know how to catch fish. You should, of course, right? Put a bit out there, then you fall victim for it. Then tailgating now is me trying to follow somebody into a building. For instance, now he wants to come into this office and I don't have the access. You want to use a card, he uses a key card coming, right? And I don't have that key card. What I do, I sneak up with this guy into. Is it clear? Alright, that's tailgating. Then breaking into accounts. You have dictionary attacks, you have brute force, credential stuffing, and password spraying attack. A dictionary attack is when I create up a word list. The word list is a list of possible passwords. I create a file. That file now has possible password I want to attack you, and I use your credentials to create possible password. If I try this password on your system, it will give me access. One of it is a probability, not that I'll get an 100% assurance. But under that probability, I can get access to your device or your system. Is it clear? Then you have brute force attack. Me, I'm trying to force myself. Try wrong password. Try to like get access to get the correct password to your system. Is it clear? Then you have credential stuffing. Trying to use one credential to get access to multiple platforms. Your own credential that I'm trying to use to get multiple access to all platforms I know you're using. Is it clear? Then password spraying is me using a normal password. For example, 123 for your date of birth to get access. I find out your date of birth, then I try it on your device. Is it clear? And it's a longer, more complex password, dramatically raise brute force cost and trade force between security and usability. Right? Any question? Any question? Okay. You have a question? All right. Then exploiting application. These are web attacks. Right? So there are different types of web attacks. We have SQL injection, we have cross-site scripting, we have cross-site request forgery, we have command injection, and buffer overflow. So the first one is SQL injection. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. Structured Query Language. What it's used for? It's used to query a database. Used to communicate with a database. One was a database where data are being stored, right? So for us to communicate with the database, you use this language in communicating with it. So the database, control the database, and all that. SQL injection now is where a malicious actor uses an injection, a language, inject it through an input feed into a website. This is a website now, for instance. Let me say web.com, right? This is a website. On this website now, they have an input feed. So the attacker, put its own SQL here into this input field to get access to this website database. Is it clear? All together. So that is how SQL injection works. I'm an attacker. I create this language, this SQL, input it on an input field, maybe a search input field or any input field. It goes to the website. If this website does not have a security, does not have a firewall, does not have any security, it takes me directly to the database. That database now, I'm able to manipulate data, input data. Maybe I want to change my results on the database. I go there, change my results from 3.2 to 4.1. Is it clear? Then cross-site scripting. Cross-site scripting is like similar as the database. What it used to base a website. What I do now, the attacker, I get a script, right? I get it into the website, web.com. Let me say this is an e-commerce website, for instance. E-commerce. You know, it's an e-commerce website. Timo, Jumia, right? What I do now, I deface this website with a script, right? Then I start changing prices. Is it clear? I start manipulating the website, change the interface. That's how cross-site scripting works. Then cross-site request forgery is when the website is asking you for, I get access to run a script on the website, then the website asks a legit client for their personal information, trying to ask you for, okay, you are visiting this web.com now. It redirects you to a different website now. Let me say scam.com. This way I'm directing you to ask for information from you. Is it clear? That's how it actually works. Then command injection is me running scripts into a website and trying to carry out commands on that website. Moving on, we'll talk about command injection properly. Well, this one is just like SQL injection or cross-site scripting. Similar. What I do, I'm trying to inject commands. Like for instance, now this is website web.com, right? Then I'll get access to the website. Then I add a command cmd, and I'm trying to search for a user, for instance, or add user. Add user here is a command I can use in adding user to the platform. What is the difference between Okay, SQL injection. This one is the database I'm attacking. This I'm trying to inject just commands to try to move around the system. Is it clear? This one, I'm going to the database where data is being stored. This one, I'm not going to the database. I'm moving around the system with this command. With commands, the command to move. Okay, I want to go. Okay, for instance, now let me say the estate. The estate now is the website. Command now is me going from door to door, looking for something. SQL injection, I'm going to the database where information is stored. Is it clear? Where data is stored? This is not where data is moving from one place to another, just to know what is here. If anything important here, collect it. Anything important here, collect it. Is it clear? Then we have buffer overflow. A buffer, a buffer is a temporary storage in a web application. This buffer here, it's temporary storage. It's a temporary storage where data is stored in an application. So what an attacker does now, they fill this buffer with so much data, so much information that it overflows and it breaks that website web application. If you have a cup, for instance, and you keep turning water into the cup, what does it do? How the buffer overflow looks like. And once it overflows, information starts coming out. Real information starts coming out. Is it clear? All right. So that's for web attack. So
How do you get audio from this? It's just connecting.
All right. So sorry for that. So packet sniffing, like I was saying, packets are units of data that actually builds an information. Yeah. When you transfer an information from one system to or sending an information from one system to another, it's done with this packet, right? So what an attacker does now is sniff on this packet, like I'm trying to look, okay, which information is there? What's unit of data that actually gives this information? And make it up together to see, okay, what's information from one system to another. Is it clear? Then we have port scanning. Port scanning is when an attacker get access to a network and use his system to carry out a scan to see where there are open ports on system. These ports are not your USB ports, they are virtual ports, right? Moving on, we'll talk about those ports. What they do, they scan and see for open ports and find out if those ports are exploitable. Let me say, for instance, I'm an attacker. All these, we have systems on the network. I intercept the network, I run a scan using a tool like Nmap, for instance. What it does, it shows me every open port on those systems. And I'll try to see if those ports are exploitable. And if anyone is exploitable, I'll use to get access into that person's device, that person's system. Is it clear? All right. So defenses, HTTPS. You heard of HTTPS before? What's HTTPS? Hypertext Transfer Protocol. What's the protocol used for? What's the protocol used for? You're not sure. Any idea? We use our browser, right? You've seen HTTP, you see HTTPS, right? It's a protocol that allows you access the web, right? Yes, that's what it does. Yeah, it's a protocol. Protocols are rules that allow you actions to be carried out, right? So that particular protocol allows you to access the web. But that's two. One is secured and one is not secured. The secured one is HTTPS, which is Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. The unsecured one is HTTP. Right? Those two are used two different ports. A port is like what gives you access to a network or devices on the network. To get access into this video, what do I do? I open this door, right? So that's what a port does for you. It gives you access. So for HTTP now that it is not secure, it uses port 80. The unsecured one uses port 80, while the secure one uses 443. So they use two different doors. If I want to access the web now, I use two different doors. The port stands as a door. So this protocol now, HTTP now uses 80, which is open. It's like an open door. HTTPS now uses a closed door, which is 443. Is it clear? Then we have VPNs, which I've talked about, a virtual private network. Then we have SSH. SSH means secured shell. It allows secure connection between systems. Secured remote connection between systems. Is it clear? I want to remotely connect to a system now. I'll use SSH, but that connection is secured, right? Then we have a firewall, which I've talked about already, which filters traffic. Then chapter 8 is building your defenses. How do you build defenses? Tools you put in place in building these defenses. So the first there is defense in depth. Defense in depth is actually, what it actually means is having multiple layers of defense. Strong defense. Is it clear? For instance, now on my system, I have a firewall, I have an IDS, and I have an IPS, and also have a SIM tool. We all monitor what comes in and what goes out of the network, right? So we said layers that work together. For individual, have long, unique passwords or phrases. That's for individuals. It's good you have a long password, 8 characters or 16 character password. Then let it be unique, not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or use your name as a password. Use something unique that other person can easily guess the password. Then passphrases. Is it clear? And he said enable multi-factor authentication on your devices, on your system. Have multiple factors of authentication. Something you are, something you know, something you have, somewhere you are, or something you do. Is it clear? Then use a password manager. What will help you? Like most of our systems come to the password manager, default password manager that help you save your password. Is it clear? Then keep software updated. I've heard of the word patching before. Patch. What's patch? Okay, patches are actually security updates. When a software or a device becomes vulnerable, a new patch is created to fix that vulnerability. Like there's this saying, they said all patches are updates, but not all updates are patches. You can have an update on your device or your software, but it could not be a patch. It could just be a software new feature or something. But when you have a patch or a security patch, meaning that device, there's a vulnerability that needs to be fixed. Is it clear? All right. So that keep software updated. So always keep your software updated so that in case there is any vulnerability, can be fixed, so it cannot be exploited by attackers. Yeah? Then we have browse securely with HTTPS. Always use HTTPS to browse securely. Use a VPN on public Wi-Fi. If you're using a public Wi-Fi, turn on your VPN. So nobody will actually see what you're doing on your network or get access to the network. Is it clear? Then for organizations, use firewalls, intrusion detection or prevention system, which I've talked about, endpoint protection, having an EDR, endpoint detection and response tool, vulnerability management, always check for vulnerabilities, carry out a penetration testing on your websites, on your network to see where there's vulnerabilities so you can fix it. Then penetration testing, which I just said. Penetration testing is testing for weaknesses on a network, on a system. A pen tester, what they do, they run a simulation, a real-time attack on a network or a website to see where there's vulnerability. Right? Then security monitoring and logging. Always monitor who comes into the system, who accesses the network, who comes into the organization. You monitor and also check their logins. Okay. Let me say, for instance, now there's a policy that, okay, this is my system. It should not be turned on by 6 p.m. Then when I go through my security log and I find out that somebody logged in by 6 p.m., which is wrong. So you always monitor and check for login. Is it clear? Question? Questions? Any question? So he said passkeys, password managers, and modern authentication are ways to improve account security. In chapter 8, the NIST cybersecurity framework. Have you heard of the word NIST before? NIST. It means, you heard of it before? So it is National Institute for Standard and Technology. Right? So this framework, just like we have the 7th stage where attackers carry out the attack. We also have the NIST framework, which help the defenders to protect an organization. Is it clear? Right? So the NIST cybersecurity framework now, like I said, life cycle of a defender has 6 steps. The first step is govern. The govern the policy, the structure which the organization is being built. Altogether, the controls they have security controls, the security controls, policies, the structure which the organization is being built. That's for govern. Then the next step now is identify. So for instance, now an attack happened within an organization, right? I've gotten the structure, how the organization, their security is being built. The next thing is to identify what happened, pick out their assets, their digital assets, both hardware and software, identify them to know, okay, which of the system was attacked. Then after I identify those systems now, I move in to protect the system. Is it clear? I come to the organization now. I've identified, okay, this organization has 10 systems. I list it down. They have 10 systems now. But one was actually attacked, not all the systems. What do? I set up protection mechanisms, things to protect these tools to protect the other systems so the attack won't spread. And after I protect now, I detect what happened. Is it clear? And after detection now, I respond to that incident. I isolate the system. By responding now, I'm isolating that system from the network, so whatever that is happening would not spread. After I isolate, then I fix it before bringing it back to the system, the network, which is recovery. Altogether, any question? All right. So we're going to take a 10 minutes break. We're going to take a 10 minutes break before we continue.
Okay, and create just go to your browser and
So let's just take a 10 minutes break.